Hello, Joy friends. Welcome to Yarn Joy Adventures number 20. My name is Cynthia with Cynthia's Joyful Creations. And how is everyone doing? What has been on your hook? If you have a finished object, I would love to share your Yarn Joy adventures with all of our yarny friends. So please consider sending your finished objects in and allowing me the opportunity to share them. Speaking of opportunity, I am so grateful for the opportunity to spend a few moments with you and talk about what has been on my hook this past week. If you'll remember, last week I fell down a rabbit hole, and that was trying to use all of my scrap cotton yarn to make dishcloths. And I said I thought I had about enough to make 5 or 6 more dishcloths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've made 12 more, and I have a few more that I can make, and then all of the scrap cotton yarn will be gone. So I'm getting ready to show those to you, and I really like some of these. And then there's a couple that are, but let me know what you think. All right, the first one, it's not going to look like a scrap dishcloth because it's all one solid color. And I also want to remind you that when we were together last week, I shared that I'd spent the day with my mom and my dad expressed that he liked the dishcloths a little bit smaller. And I fell in love with the smaller size. So all of these are done in the smaller size. And maybe that's why I was able to make a little bit more than I was estimating. But the first one is this solid red one. So nothing unusual or fancy about it. It is just a solid red, but I love it nonetheless. All right, I had a little bit of that red left over, believe it or not. And so I incorporated it with some different reds and blues to kind of make a little bit of a country American, USA dishcloth. But you can definitely see all the different scraps in that. But love it, love it. And had enough to make another one. And love this one even more. But here is this one. And as you can see, none of these are color blocked. And a lot of that is because all of this, except for the white, some of the white, but some of it is extra white added in, is all one skein. It's a variegated red, white, and blue skein. But you can kind of see this white up here is part of that blue. And then part of this came off of the blue, and then I stopped and added some white, and then let the red continue, and so forth. But yeah, love the way that that turned out. All right, next one, I use 2 different sets of scraps to make this one, and you almost can't tell. It almost looks like it all goes together, but it's a black and white variegated one. It's got gray in it, so this variegated is all one color, but you see this little bit of black that's fallen in each of these little patches. That was part of that variegated, but the rest of the solid black was some scrap black that I had. But I love nonetheless the way that turned out as well. All right, this is one I'm kind of about, but Todd loves it. So here we go. And this is it. So let me zoom in so you can see that a little bit better. Oh, I'm not going to get the right kind of zooming in. It's a TV remote. We need a camera remote. All right. Let's zoom in a little bit more so you can see that a little bit better. All those different colors in there. Like I said, this one's kind of for me, but Todd really loves it. All right. We're going to zoom back out a little bit there. Okay. Next, I love this one. This is one of my favorites. And again, it's made up of a bunch of different scraps, but nonetheless, I love this one. Again, no color blocking because there's more of that red, white, and blue that's variegated as one skein in itself. And then, of course, this is another variegated skein, and I really love it. That's my favorite part there, is that one there. Should have zoomed in again. When I go like this, it gets blurry, but when I actually zoom in, it doesn't. But anyway, I love that one. And then here's a light blue one. I really like that one too. Almost makes me think of a baby washcloth. All right. And then there's this one. So this pink, white, and black is all one variegated skein. And then this black going around is some of that black scrap that I had. All right. This one is also variegated, but it's solid, meaning that it's all one skein that made this one. And that one's really pretty too. The peach colors and the yellow. And I had just a little bit of that left over, so I took it with some solid yellow and white and made this one. And this is another variegated, and all of it is all from the same skein except for the bottom two rows, minus the border. And it was a little bit of a scrap yarn that I just kind of threw in there at the bottom. Don't really like that so much, but you know, everybody has their likes and dislikes, so we'll see. But I do have a lot of this cotton yarn with the flex left over, so I plan on making a couple more solid ones like this. And the last one to show you is my favorite of the entire bunch tonight. And it is off of one skein. It was all I had left, and I had just enough to make one dishcloth. Had I been going for my normal size, I wouldn't have been able to do it, but anyway, nonetheless, I love this. Isn't that pretty? And that is all one, you know, skein. There's only one scrap yarn in this. And this is left over from one of the boho bags that I had made. But love it, love it, love it. That is my favorite. All right. Well, that is all I have. I'm so sorry I have not made any more progress on the doll. Had a really busy week last week. Did a lot of overtime at work. Some days I was working 10.5 hours. So it called for a really long day. Came home and crashed. And as many of you know, over the weekend, we got to spend some time with baby Seth. And if you want to see that, then you'll need to head over to Joy in the Making for this week. And you'll be able to see some of those beautiful pictures that we took of our visit with Seth. All right. Well, that is all I have for Cynthia's Yarn Joy Adventures, but I have some friends. Some of our friends have sent in some of their makes, so let's go check out their Yarn Joy Adventures for this week. And then, of course, stay tuned for some bloopers. All right. I love you guys. Be joyful. Stay crafty in your own way. Make your own joyful creations. And above everything else, please remember, you are important and you are loved. Mwah. Nugs and joy, everyone. Joy friends, and welcome to Yarn Joy Adventures. I do this every time. Forget to look up what number it is. I think we're on 20, but I gotta go look to make sure. So, what has been on my hook this past week under the Joy in the Making project? Well, absolutely nothing. Better yet, maybe nothing. Nothing's been on a hook whatsoever, period, zilch, zilch. I don't know if I like that. Okay, oops, hair in the lipstick. Take two. The ribbon through it, and then I'm pretty sure I'd have enough yarn left over that maybe I could do like a pacifier. I think the camera is shaking. I think it is. It's touching the table. So sorry, friends. Shaking you. I'm all shook up. Hey. All right. This is definitely going to be a blooper. All right, now that the shaking's done, let's try this again, shall we?